Your heart is pounding, your chest tightens. Your hands are shaking and you can't breathe. You feel like you are dying, but you are standing in a grocery store. Nothing is happening, nothing is wrong. And yet your body has decided that you are about to die. What is actually going on inside your brain right now? Why does your body react like you are being hunted by a predator when you are just trying to buy cereal? The answer is buried deep inside your skull. And once you understand it, you will never look at a panic attack the same way again. To understand a panic attack, you have to understand a tiny almond-shaped structure buried deep in the center of your brain. It is called the amygdala, and it has one job: keep you alive. The amygdala does not care about your plans. It does not care about your dignity. It does not care that you are in public. It monitors everything you see, hear, smell, and feel, scanning for anything that might be dangerous. And when it detects a threat, real or imagined, it fires. Instantly, before your conscious mind even knows what is happening. In the 1990s, neuroscientist Joseph LeDoux at New York University mapped exactly how this works. He showed that when your senses detect something potentially threatening, the signal takes two paths through your brain. The first path is fast and dirty. It goes straight to the amygdala. This is called the low road. It is sloppy. It is imprecise, but it is fast. Your amygdala reacts in about 12 milliseconds. 12. That is faster than you can blink. The second path is slower. It sends the signal up to your prefrontal cortex, the thinking, rational part of your brain, to figure out whether the threat is actually real. This is the high road. It takes about 300 milliseconds. That is an eternity compared to the low road. Here is the problem. By the time your rational brain gets the memo, your amygdala has already started the alarm. And once that alarm goes off, your entire body changes. Your hypothalamus activates your sympathetic nervous system. This is the system that prepares you to fight or flee. It is ancient. It evolved hundreds of millions of years ago when the biggest threats in your environment were predators with teeth. The signal reaches your adrenal glands, which sit on top of your kidneys. They release adrenaline, also called epinephrine, directly into your bloodstream. Within seconds, your heart rate increases, your blood pressure rises, your pupils dilate, your muscles tense, your breathing becomes rapid and shallow. Blood is redirected away from your digestive system and toward your arms and legs. Your body is preparing to run, or fight, or freeze all at once, even though you are standing in aisle 7 holding a box of granola. Walter Cannon, a physiologist at Harvard in the early 20th century, was the first to describe this system. He called it the fight-or-flight response, and it is brilliant when there is an actual threat. If a car is speeding toward you, you want this system to activate. You want your heart pumping and your muscles ready. You want to move without thinking. But here is where panic attacks get cruel. The amygdala cannot tell the difference between a real threat and a false alarm. It does not reason, it reacts. And once the alarm starts, something else happens. Your body begins to notice its own symptoms. Your heart is pounding, you are breathing fast, you feel dizzy. And your brain, which is already on high alert, interprets these symptoms as confirmation that something is seriously wrong. This is the panic feedback loop. You feel your heart race. Your brain says something is wrong with my heart. That thought triggers more fear triggers more adrenaline makes your heart pound harder. Now you are sure you are having a heart attack. You are not. But in that moment, every part of your body is telling you that you are. In the 1960s, Donald Klein, a psychiatrist at Columbia University, made a breakthrough discovery about this loop. He was studying patients who reported sudden, overwhelming episodes of terror that came out of nowhere. Klein realized these were not ordinary anxiety. They were a distinct phenomenon. He called them panic attacks, and he proposed that they were caused by a malfunction in the body's suffocation alarm, a system designed to detect rising levels of carbon dioxide in the blood. When you hyperventilate during a panic attack, you exhale too much carbon dioxide. Your blood CO2 levels drop, but your brain has a built-in alarm that monitors CO2 levels because rising CO2 means you might be suffocating. When your CO2 levels shift rapidly, this alarm can misfire. It screams that you are not getting enough air. You gasp, you breathe faster. The faster you breathe, the more CO2 you drop. The more CO2 you drop, the louder the alarm screams. You are not suffocating, you are in a loop, but your brain does not know that. Antonio Damasio, a neuroscientist at the University of Southern California, spent decades studying how the body and brain communicate during emotional experiences. He developed what he called the somatic marker hypothesis. The idea is that your brain does not just process emotions abstractly. It creates physical sensations, gut feelings, a tight chest, a knot in your stomach, and uses those sensations to make decisions and assess danger. During a panic attack, the somatic markers go haywire. Your brain reads every physical sensation as a signal of catastrophe. A slight tingling in your hand becomes a stroke. A skipped heartbeat becomes cardiac arrest. A moment of dizziness becomes you fainting and hitting your head. Your prefrontal cortex, the rational part of your brain, is trying to intervene. It is saying, you are fine, this is just anxiety. You have felt this before, but the amygdala is louder and faster, and it has direct access to your body's emergency systems. Your rational brain is fighting an uphill battle against millions of years of evolutionary wiring. Here is the counterintuitive part. The panic attack itself is not dangerous. It feels like it is going to kill you. Every cell in your body is telling you that you are in mortal danger. But a panic attack on its own will not stop your heart. It will not make you stop breathing. It will not cause you to pass out. Your body is doing exactly what it was designed to do in an emergency. The emergency just is not real. And yet the fear of the next panic attack is often worse than the attack itself. This is what psychologists call anticipatory anxiety. You start avoiding places where you had a panic attack. Grocery stores, meetings, crowded rooms. Your world gets smaller, not because those places are dangerous, but because your amygdala has learned to associate them with the alarm. And now, just thinking about being there can trigger the same cascade. Research by David Barlow at Boston University showed that people who have one panic attack are far more likely to have another, not because their body is broken, but because their brain has now tagged the experience as life-threatening. Every future situation that feels even slightly similar gets flagged. Your amygdala becomes hypersensitive. It starts firing at smaller and smaller triggers. A slightly warm room, a faster-than-normal heartbeat after climbing stairs, a moment of disorientation in a crowd. This is how panic disorder develops, not from one catastrophic event, from one false alarm that your brain refused to let go of. But here is the part nobody tells you. Understanding the mechanism is itself a tool. Studies at the University of Cambridge have shown that when patients are taught what is actually happening in their brain during a panic attack, the amygdala, the feedback loop, the adrenaline cycle, their symptoms decrease. Not because they will it away, but because the explanation gives the prefrontal cortex something to work with. It gives the rational brain a counter-narrative. Instead of "I am dying," it offers, "My amygdala fired a false alarm. My body is responding to a threat that does not exist." This will pass. And it does pass. A panic attack typically peaks within 10 minutes. The adrenaline burns off. Your heart rate comes down. Your breathing normalizes. You are left exhausted, confused, sometimes embarrassed, but alive, always alive. The next time your body decides the world is ending while you are standing in line at the pharmacy, remember this. Your brain is not broken. It is doing exactly what it was built to do. It just got the signal wrong. The alarm is not the danger. It was never the danger. The real battle is not happening in your chest. It is happening between a 6-million-year-old alarm system and the part of your brain that is trying to tell it, calmly, rationally, and with great difficulty, that everything is going to be okay.